Welcome to Just a Minute QI, Identifying Special Cause. In a previous video, we spoke about understanding variation and the two different types of variation, normal or random variation and special cause variation. In this video, we're going to talk through some rules that will help you identify special cause variation in your data. The first rule is the astronomical point. This is a point that falls outside the upper and lower control limits on your SPC chart. This is statistically unlikely to happen, so if it does, we want to understand why. Here is an SPC chart showing the number of weekly discharges from one of our acute wards. The mean number of discharges is 3 per week. Normal variation falls between the upper control limit of 7 discharges and the lower control limit of none. Here we can see an astronomical point of 10 discharges in 1 week. So this encourages us to wonder what happened at the end of March to have this impact on the number of ward discharges. The second rule is called a shift. This is when there are 8 or more points in a row above or below the mean line. If a data point is on the mean line, just ignore it and count the next one. The probability of this happening is low, so when we see a shift in an SPC chart, we know it's unlikely to have happened by chance and that a change in the system has probably led to that shift. Here we can see a shift in the number of reported incidents of violence and aggression on the ward. If the ward had introduced a new intervention aimed at reducing violence and aggression in August, this upward shift in incidents suggests it's not working as intended, so the intervention should be reviewed and a decision made about adapting or abandoning it. The third rule is called a trend. This is when 6 or more points in a row are all going either up or down. It's a signal that a change might be occurring in the system. In this chart, we can see a trend in ward length of stay when the average inpatient admission reduced in length each week for 6 weeks in a row. It would prompt us to find out if the ward had been doing anything in particular to achieve that. The fourth rule is the 2 out of 3 rule. This is when 2 out of 3 points in a row are very close to the upper and lower control limits. This tells us that the current system is unstable, resulting in data points that quite quickly go from one extreme to another. Here we can see that in December 2018, people under this team had waited an average of 10 days for their first appointment, while people who were seen in January 2019 had waited over 100 days. In quality improvement, we want to create systems where this type of variation is less likely to occur. So in this case, we might be encouraged to understand why some people wait much longer for their first appointment than others, and design a referral process that enables all patients to be seen within 28 days. So now you know how to identify special cause. How do you decide when to act on what the data is telling you? SPC charts can help you notice patterns and changes in a system, but you'll need to understand the context and use your clinical judgment to help decide how you should respond. For example, you probably wouldn't redesign a whole process because of one astronomical point, but you might put certain checks in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again. If you want help interpreting your data, do get in touch with the QI team.